This is an illustrated documentary series of the local and international travels of Dr. Jose Rizal from 1882 to 1896. Many of the landmarks and markers, photographs, and video clips shown in this series are the actual places mentioned in his travels, diary, and letters. Started in 2015, this 5-year documentary project is dedicated to the Filipino youths, patriots, and all non-Filipinos who propagate the teachings and ideals of the national hero. I highly recommend this documentary series to students and teachers as a companion reference in studying and teaching the life and travels of Dr. Jose Rizal. This series will bring everyone to where it happened, places where Dr. Rizal has visited, studied, and lived while working for reforms for his country. A 500-page coffee table book is bundled with these videos. Good luck and enjoy the series.
Vaarwel aan Betenland.
My name is Florentino Rodal. I teach at the Complutense University.
Ricky, I want to give you, this is also, this was in the 70s. After Elke and I have been to the Philippines, Elke came home and said, now I want to translate a Las Flores de Heidelberg. This is a very famous poem of Rizal. And there is, I don't know, did you get around to go to the Rizal bank? You
Yes.
saw it?
Rizal.
Rizal bank on the Neckar River down there.
Not yet, this is tomorrow.
If you go there tomorrow, you know, we were thinking when Rizal, where did he walk? And he describes the mountains and the river and all this. And it must have been somewhere in this area, because he describes Holy Mountain and King's Chair and so on. And this again I want to give to you. This is a translation which not infrequently the Knights of Rizal, Werner's grandchild, cited it in Wilhelmsfeld, and I think it's a very wonderful poem.
But Fritz, please let me know again about the history of the stone where this marker are.
Oh, yeah, the history of the stone. You know, Heidelberg University is the oldest German-speaking university in Europe, Heidelberg, founded in 1386. And we have a beautiful building, which is the library. And in 1990, the university had no more space. And so they said, we have to go, we cannot and go on top of it because this is not allowed. So we will go in the cellars. And so they went 2 stories in the ground under this building near St. Peter's Church. And what they found were 5 big stones or rocks. And these rocks were removed, and as the city was taking care of that building business, they took them away because they're very nice, you know. And what we found, what they found, that somewhere in the last 300,000 years, the Neckar River has been at that point where now is the old city, that the Neckar River was flying through that area.
There's another way.
Another way. And it deposited these 5 rocks. And Rizal's memorial stone is one of these 5 rocks. And
Who chose it?
who chose it? You know, we always need sponsors to do something like it. The city, it would be a long story to tell you how we finally arranged it to get it done. You know, you have to knock at the door constantly. But then the mayor said, okay, we will do it. Who will pay for it? And I said, we'll pay for it. Of course, the city, I think. Oh, he said, the city, we have no money, no money. I said, what do you think, how much would we need? And he mentioned the sum, and then I said, okay, but who will give us the stone? You have so many rocks around here. What about you? The city donates the rock. Oh, he said, this could be done. So we finally paid a couple of thousand things to get a bench and to have it planated, you know, made flat. And you will see it tomorrow. It's very nice. And
He showed me a picture.
yeah, it's very nice. And we were very proud of it, you know. The ambassador, the mayor, all the important politicians came when it was opened.
And for me, this is a very nice place, but not so many people can find it automatically. Yeah,
No. But
romantic place.
later on, when this has stopped, I will tell you, which is also close to my heart, this is the condition in Ghent. But this is another story, and I don't want to mix these things. But it's a sad story, and this is a happy story, because we are constantly, you know, Werner and I, we are from the pushing type. You know, they tell us it's not possible, and we say, okay, it's not possible. And we get out and say, we'll try it again. And don't think this was the mayor who gave us who finally allowed that a part of the Neckar River bank was called Rizal Bank. He died, and his successor was a lady from the same party, but she hated him, which I didn't know. And when he died, 6 months later, I walked up to her and said, Mrs. Weber, I would like to remind you of the promise of your late predecessor Zundel, who has promised that we will get a bank and a memorial for the famous poet.
Sunde was a mayor also of Heidelberg, and he was a member of our Knights of Rizal
Yeah.
order.
Yeah. But Mrs. Weber, despite she was from the same party, she hated him. And for the next 10 years, whenever I came, she received me with closed ears. So immediately after a new mayor came, 6 months later, who was knocking at the door, our group, and he said, we have to bring it up again. And one of the reasons was, there was an additional marker in Karlstraße. But the building was torn down and rebuilt, and that marker got lost. And the caretaker of that marker was the city of Heidelberg. So I always was pitching and saying, I have been to the Philippines. You know, the Filipinos, high people, have asked me, what's wrong with that marker? Where has it disappeared? It cannot disappear in nothing. And Mayor Sundel said, it must be somewhere, there is a storage place. And he himself, can you imagine, the mayor, in his car, we drove to the storage place and we looked it over for 30 minutes. And he said, I'm absolutely sure they have smashed it and it's gone. But we will give you compensation. And I said, man, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. We want compensation. And this is the way how this bank and this rock got into existence.
This is the stone.
This is the stone.
You are from the Philippines? Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. It's okay. It's okay. I'll just take a shot.
Yeah, take.
I'm sorry about that.
So I saw this morning.
Yeah. That is. Did you read it?
This I just read it and then I thought about it. Yes, but I didn't know that that there is a history of Philippine Revolution in Heidelberg.
Very.
Heidelberg.